Hi, bigger alligators. Miss Bannister here, and this week I again am coming to you from my basement. We're in week 4 of distance learning, and so while I'm teaching from my basement, you are probably learning from somewhere in your home. So thank you for taking the time to learn my lesson. This lesson today is going to consist of this one video, and it's me teaching you guys something, and then a handout. Your handout is going to look just like this. I would ask for you all to spend some time after the lesson completing the handout, and I'm going to explain the handout to you in just a moment. This lesson is about self-management. Self-management is an important part of our behavior. I feel like our behavior is especially important right now because of the stress and restrictions some of us may feel around being in our homes for such an extended period of time. Many of us are beginning to feel tired, grouchy, confused, maybe even a little angry or frustrated with the reality that our school year has come to an end within the building of Adams. It continues in this way with your teachers, giving you teaching distance learning, and it's different. So while we're all going through this together, I think it's important that we recognize how much control we have over our thoughts and behaviors. Today's lesson is going to be about something I like to call our circle of control. Recognizing what we have control over and what we can't control can help us get through this time with more success. It's actually a good strategy just in general, and I'm going to explain to you why. When we focus our energy and our thoughts on the things that we can control, we begin to feel more successful in ourselves. Okay, we begin to see that if we put energy into the things we can control, and I'll give you an example in a second. If we put energy into those things, we can see outcomes that are positive for us. If we spend our time and our thoughts focusing on the things we can't control, we don't get a lot of outcomes from that. And I'll give you an example of that one also. And here are the examples. Something I can't control is, I'm going to go from the outside in. Something I can't control, I would put it on the outside of my circle, is that school is closed. I can't control that. That decision was made outside of my control. And all of us are in that situation. None of us are in control of whether school is open or closed. However, directly related to my not having any control over school being closed, what I can control is how I work at distance learning. For example, this is the most relevant example. I'll give you a more broad example in just a moment. I get to control how engaged I am and in the learning. I get to control what sort of attitude I bring to my math lessons at home, or what sort of attitude I bring to my PE lessons or my music or my art. That is within my control. I can control my attitude about this. Okay? A more broad, encompassing example of our circle of control problem. Now I'm going to go from the inside out. Okay? What I can control is how I treat others. I can control the behavior I act out to my family members. I can control whether I'm kind to them. I can control whether I'm grumpy to them, or I say something that's not nice. I can control my words. Okay? I have control over how I treat people. What I can't control is how other people treat me. I can't control that. I can't control the words that someone says to me. I can't control if my brother ignores me. I can't control him. Okay? I think you all know I have two brothers, so I know what it's like to have a brother or a sister. Sometimes it's hard, but I can't control them. I can control my reaction though. I can control myself. If they're getting me, if I'm feeling frustrated because of their behavior, which is outside of my control, I have to go into my circle and be like, what is it that I need to do? I can take some deep breaths. I can leave the room, right? I can go and get help from someone in the house, okay? Recognizing what we have control over and what we can't control helps us prioritize. Do you know what that word means? Prioritize means there, and right now we all kind of have to do this. There's like a list of things we have to do. And in our lives right now, especially, there is like a list of things going on in the house, right? So recognizing what we have control over helps us figure out, oh, well, I can be nice to my brother, even though sometimes he can be, difficult, and or your sister or whoever. Okay, I can respond to my parent or my whoever's taking care of me's request to do my chores with kindness. I can do the art project or the counseling project with a positive attitude, or even just flexible attitude. Okay, I can ask for a break. Okay, focusing on what we can control helps us feel more successful and do more positive things. Focusing on what we can't control, while we spend a lot of energy doing that, thinking about what other people are saying or complaining about someone not doing what they're supposed to, or complaining about the weather. I can't go outside, it's raining. We can't control the weather, right? We can't control the weather. If we spend all of our time in what I can't control, focusing on what we can't control, we don't get very far. And in this time of such change, significant change, I've never been a counselor through something like this. This is my first time. I think it's your first time too. We have to recognize what we can control and really lean into that. I know teachers are doing a great job of this right now too. We're all working on what we can control. This helps us with our self-management, because when we feel good, it's usually because we're actually making a change on things that we can. We begin to feel kind of like, oh, this is so hard, because we sometimes want to work on things and change things that we have no control over. The weather, our brother, the classwork, we just need to lean into some of that and recognize that your best effort is enough. Okay? Your best effort at all of this is just enough. It's just right. So, this week, your assignment is to complete this circle of control. I'm going to put an example there of my circle of control, okay? What a counselor's circle of control looks like, honestly. And I invite you to share with me on the blank sheet what your circle of control looks like, okay? What is within your control and what you can't control. This is a handout, okay? This is a piece of paper. Most important to me as your counselor is what you do with it. Okay? Internalize those things that you can control. Okay? You get more of what you pay attention to. If you pay attention to the things you control, you will feel more successful. Okay? That's what I want for you. Fill out the paper. Give it back to me. I want to see your ideas. What I really hope for all of you is that you take this lesson and you begin to see the power you have in yourself. The power you have in yourself to feel successful during this time. Okay. If you have any questions, you can always post them in your class, whether that's on Seesaw or leave me a comment. And in Google Classroom, I believe you can do that also. And I look forward to hearing your responses and seeing your handouts completed. Thank you so much, alligators, and have a wonderful week.